Hello everyone, I'm your host Aisha.
And I'm your host Ka-Rin.
And this is Raize
the Standard. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come in this place. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Won't you please come? Won't you please come?
Today's video is going to be about relationships. Yes, relationships. Relationships between your friends, your family, and your boo. So let's start with, what is a relationship?
Relationship. The way in which two or more concepts, objects, or people are connected, or the state of being connected.
That's a good one. Connection is what makes a relationship.
Yeah.
Now, honestly, today we're here to just dispel a lot and then also to share some wisdom on what we've learned over the years as far as
our experiences.
What it takes to have a relationship. Like what it takes to be in a relationship guys, and then
get out of it. We just hope you guys are just edified and take away a lot from it, because there's a lot that we don't see in this community as far as purity. There's a lot that because there is a purity movement, but
there's a purity culture,
like a purity culture.
There's a difference between purity culture and God culture,
and the actual being pure. There's a difference between, because a lot of people think, you're pure, you're virgin and things like that, and they think strictly virginity, and you're just
or you've never done anything, or you never.
That's one side to it. That is one side. One side to it. There's one side to purity that that God is really big on. We're gonna touch bases on that too.
1 Corinthians 15:33, and it says, "Bad company corrupts good character." So honestly, that's so self-explanatory, but I can give an example. One time I learned that I didn't have to tell the police my name, like my real name, or I didn't have to tell, what is it, truancy, the school? I didn't have to tell them my real name. So what I did was I gave them a fake name. I think I said Annie or Sarah or some mess like that. My friends were sneaking out to go to the library, right? Crazy work. So we were trying to go to the library that's around the corner to the school, and truancy, they saw us. And they were like, are y'all seniors? Are y'all seniors? And we were like, yeah, with our little tiny selves. We were not seniors. We were like, yeah, we're seniors. And they were like, okay, so what's your name? What's your name? How old are you? I said, I'm 18. I'm about to graduate. 14 years old. I'm 18. I'm about to graduate. Don't talk to me like that. Yada, yada. Just give an attitude. And then he said, what's your name? I said, Annie Prince or Sarah Prince or whatever. And then he asked my friend, he writes it down, and then he asks my friend, and he's like, what's your name? And she tells him a fake name too. And then we get to the library, like they finally let us go. We get to the library. She's like, oh, why'd you tell him a fake name? I didn't think of that, yada, yada. But that just goes to show how she wasn't thinking about that at all. And then I wasn't thinking it was a big thing at the moment either. I was just thinking, like, this is what I'm just gonna do. I'm gonna give them a fake name. But because I influenced her to do that, I influenced her basically to lie, she lied. So that's the type of thing. It's not like we're malicious or bad people, or that scripture means that bad people, bad company is, oh, you're a malicious or bad person. That just means that whatever it is that you're doing is not right in the eyes of God.
Think about company. It's just who you have around
associate with, or
and what you have around, right? Sometimes, especially if the things that you watch. When you're watching, I noticed that there was a girl I used to hang out with. She used to watch Bad Girls Club. She wasn't even like that. Right?
Oh my God.
But because she constantly watched Bad Girls Club, I don't know if you guys know, Bad Girls Club is a show that
just a bunch of grown women fighting each
yeah,
other, like
in one house,
what is the point?
and they all just have all this estrogen,
and they just
and
always
a little bit
have
of
to be
testosterone, and so they all
African American, and POC.
literally.
Somebody got to question that because I don't see. But
anyway, so she just constantly was watching Bad Girls Club, and I would just be like, "This is such a degrading show." I didn't know anything about it back then, actually. But when I first learned about it, I was like, "This is really stupid." But then she kept watching it, constantly watching it, and so she actually thought that she started acting the way that they would act. I would be like, "Whoa!" Like she would just be starting. It was so. Excuse my language, ghetto.
The ghetto. The ghetto. The ghetto.
It's what you watch, right? It's like what you consume. It's like that saying that goes, "You are what you eat," right?
Or as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. As a man
thinks in his heart, so is he. When you're influenced by certain things, right, in this world, regardless what it is, good or bad, you are going to eventually start looking like what you are influenced by, what you're consuming, things like that. But that's just it. I also have a testimony.
I mean, basically what it is.
It was me and my friends, and we were going to the mall. And we went to the mall. It was just these two friends. We went to the mall. And we went to Aeropostale. It was popular back then, in my age and age, whatever. It was popular. Aeropostale. No, all right, yes, I see. All right.
My God,
interrupted by the dog.
Look, he's doing it.
He is so cute. Okay, yes, I love you too, little butter. Yes, I do. Okay, anyway. So we was at Aeropostale, and right, we was at Aeropostale, and these clothes were expensive for us at the time, like $10 for a shirt. But anyway,
that is expensive.
Literally. Anyway, so it was expensive for us at the time, for me at the time. And I was attracted to these clothes, and these clothes weren't really something that a little girl should be wearing at the time. In my opinion, it's something a little girl should not be wearing. But anyway, so my other two friends, they went into the stall, right? I mean, the changing thing there, right?
The changing room, yeah.
They went into the changing room, and one of the friends, let's call her friend A, and friend A was like, "Oh, let's take these things." And so she started stealing. Then friend B started stealing. Now, I was close to doing it, right? I was close, but I was like, something in me was like, no, this is not right. Like, I was still afraid of getting caught, because I was like, there is no way we're not going to get caught. Like, there are two machines out there that will go beep, beep, beep. Fast forward, me and friend B went to the mall together by ourselves without friend A. And so friend B, the second time we went to the mall, tried to convince me to steal again. She was stealing. She tried to convince me to steal again, right? So she stole, and I was so close again, but did not steal. The difference between me and friend B, right, in this whole situation is that she was more influenced because she hung out, I think, with friend A a lot more than I did. And so she became more influenced. It was like, all right, I'm just going to steal. I don't really care. So that's the whole thing. Is bad company corrupts good character. She was a good girl, just the same as me. We grew up together, Christian, things like that. But you can see how so easy it is for someone to make the wrong choices, especially by who you're hanging out with.
That was good, because it just goes to show you how, like, it snowballs. It's a snowball effect, because it's like, if she hadn't hung out with friend A, right, then if friend B hadn't hung out with friend A, then Aisha and friend A would have been A-okay. Like, there would be no stealing. And then you think about how who corrupted friend A, you think about those things, like, where it's just a snowball effect. It's like small stuff turns into big stuff, bigger stuff, bigger stuff, bigger stuff.
I did forget to mention friend A did not grow up in church. She was not a Christian.
She's not a Christian!
She could be a Jew and believe in
It
God.
doesn't matter. She's tampering in dark-sided stuff.
At all. So that's just where it was. And it's not to say that, you know, my influence
that
wasn't
you have no morals because you didn't grow up in church.
Exactly. She knew right from wrong too.
Yeah,
Everyone does. But it's just to say that when and it's not to say that my influence wasn't enough, you know, for friend B because we grew up, but it's just when you're a teenager, you get caught in the heat of the moment. Right? You get caught in, oh, this is gonna look cool. This is not even just that. You're just like, oh, I want what I want in that moment. Right? So it's just think wisely. You know how in the beginning, your parents, every time, I don't know if you know, but every time in the beginning, before you start middle school or high school or even college, your parents always say, choose your friends wisely. It's kind of that kind of like situation. Like, choose your friends wisely. Of course, you're not, as a kid, going to know who to choose. But if their morals and their actions don't line up with good morality, then that should be a borderline for you. Not to say that
or their actions and their words are two different things.
You could influence them. But how you influence somebody is to have a standard. You have to have a standard, right? If someone is trying to encourage you to make bad choices and bad decisions, you have to be like, wait a second, know within yourself, oh, hold on, wait a second, I can't do that because that's
their
not
approval. Your moral compass, or not moral compass, sorry. The Holy Ghost within you has to be much stronger than their approval. Like obviously everything stems from approval or wanting approval, and I think that's an important part of humanity. Like there's nothing wrong with wanting approval, right? But when it becomes wrong is you wanting that approval so much that you're removing yourself from your morals, or you're removing yourself from what you know is right, and you're removing yourself from what you know is wrong.
People God will put in your life are there to enhance the kingdom of heaven, right? They are there for for edifying and to edify and to glorify God. And of course, you know, if God put them in your life, you're going to enjoy those relationships, right? If the relationship isn't given either, let it go. You are better off alone with Jesus than with that person, because they're like, it goes back to what we keep saying, the whole gist of this whole video, the scripture of the hour is bad company corrupts good morals. You will eventually either get hurt, and sometimes the Lord will allow you to get hurt to use that thing, so that, because sometimes the Lord will allow certain things for you to get better in, right? And it's not to say that, but some people are there for a season. Always consult the Lord about these people. Sometimes he's there to teach you, and sometimes you're there to be a blessing to somebody, or sometimes you're there to just sow a seed. Know when that person, like, know what season that is. Is this just a season to sow seeds? Or is this just a season for me to bless? Sometimes it's really scary to stand out. Sometimes, especially in junior high school, I remember I stood out like a sore thumb, because that was when the Lord had really, you know, I just got saved. I was really serious about the Lord. Because when you stand out, you're afraid of rejection, right? Sometimes the enemy will hit you with rejection, right? But sometimes even in standing out, and let's take it to a surface level, even in standing out, you don't know who else is going to be with you, as far as you're like, oh, I wanted to
taking that leap,
and I didn't want to do that, but I'm glad you did. Now I have the courage to do it. Now that I have, because you did it, right? Sometimes you don't know who else is going to be like, I didn't really want to do what they were doing either, because I knew it was wrong. Right? So it's not to say that everybody's going to be against you, but If you stand out, stand
so
out.
be it. Exactly. If you lose friends,
especially
so
if
be
you
it.
are
If you
standing
lose
for
support,
something that is right,
so be it. Exactly.
stand out. Who cares?
Exactly.
Who cares?
And even as an adult, like even in adulthood,
Yeah.
you see that those type of situations of peer pressure,
Mhm.
and it's
Man,
more
it looks
subtle,
different.
which is
Yeah.
it's more subtle. It's like, yeah, man, it's so subtle. It's not even funny. It makes
looks
you look
subtle,
crazy
but
if
then
you say
when
something
you-
about
right.
it.
The way that we said it in our last video, the way that we deal with it is we approach that person one-on-one.
We're not trying to beat them up.
Confrontation is not bad.
You're not beating them up.
You're not trying to beat them.
Exactly.
You're just gonna
have a conversation like an adult.
A better understanding of what the situation is. Right.
Hello. Oh, I'm scared.
A better
like, come on now.
What the what the circumstances are, what the situation is, right? Why they are the way that they are doing, what they are doing on their end, right? And you're also trying to see how you can solve this problem. And it doesn't even have to be a problem, but how can we compromise to the point where we're both getting what we want?
How can we hear each other out?
Like, how can we
even if none of us get what we want?
Even
it's like, dude,
the outcome is still going to be better.
Exactly.
Even
and
if
then
we
it's
don't
like
get
you
what
have
we
to
want.
look at the bigger picture. You have to look at the bigger picture. But I don't want to get too sidetracked, because that this was good as far as learning relationships, in the sense that you learn how to remove yourself from bad company, right? Or how to distance yourself from bad company. And I know it's easier said than done to be like, I can stand up to this bully, or I can stand up to this person, because there's bullies as adults. Like using the word bully is not juvenile. I'm just gonna say it here. But there are adults who still are stuck in a high school mindset, or are stuck in a childlike mindset, and that is not up to you to deal with. It's not up to you.
When you take the adult approach, it's new to them.
Exactly.
To the point where they don't know how to handle it.
Completely new. And then they
like,
blow up on you. Exactly. They blow up on you, and now it looks like you're childish.
Yeah.
But even if you do have to look childish for that moment, bow and take it.
Take it.
I'm sorry. Eat it. Exactly. I'm learning that. I'm learning that I have to eat something.
Eat that. Because
I have to
guess what? Your reward
I took
is
a hit,
greater,
and I had to eat it.
Yeah.
But I'm learning that just eating it, right? And just like you said, eating it.
No, you're
just taking that hit and just running with it. As angry as it makes me, right? It's like I'd rather that person learn what it is that they need to learn, than me to look like the fool in the end, because I'm fighting just like them.
And of course, we're dealing on this isn't really a bad side of it first, but we wanted to get the bad out. But the Bible does say, right, a man that hath friends, and I don't like King James Version, must show himself friendly. So
I like that.
That it just goes to say, right? And a lot of people, and I'm learning even in my adult years, it's hard to know how to be friendly, especially when you have been kicked in the back, or when you have
been rejected,
when you have been rejected. I noticed, and I just recently watched something, and our bishop-elect, she's been saying, she said, she taught this a long time ago, and I forgot, when. But she said that the Lord, sometimes it's not that, they're rejecting you, and they are rejecting you, but sometimes it's not just that they're just rejecting you, but sometimes he has you hidden. Like David. He had David hidden, like he knew he was going to be king, right? But David just kept working. You're hidden for a reason. And then recently, I just watched a video on somebody who was talking about relationships. She was a Christian woman. She's talking about relationships, and she says why, you're hidden for a reason. The reason why, certain people aren't coming up to you, and they're not being friendly, and then, as I think of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not even just me being hidden, because there will be a time when you will have friends and you will have, you know, these certain things that you see, maybe a
desire,
husband, maybe I don't know, right? But it's not that time yet.
Mm-hmm.
As you are hidden, it is your obligation to get more into the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he has you hidden and isolated for a reason, because he wants you to be more focused on him and what he wants you to do. Like, maybe he just wants you all to himself. He wants a relationship with you.
He's an intimate God. Yeah,
he's an intimate God. And when people think about intimacy, they think of
smacks.
That's not the case. Knowing somebody, right? When the Bible oftentimes, when it describes
smacks,
says, and he knew her, right? That just means he knew her in a different way that no one else should know a woman, right?
Or a man,
right? But it just goes to say that the Lord, he wants to know you personally. Why are you laughing?
Go ahead.
He wants to know you on a personal level, to the point where no one else, and of course he knows everything about you, but a relationship goes both ways. He wants you to know him on a personal level, and he wants to know you on a personal level.
And then you learn yourself when you talk to God. I think that's the bigger thing. It just hit me too. But it's like, because he knows us, right? And you ate that up, because you just said he knows you already, but he wants you to know him, right? And that's why you tell him about yourself, right? You're learning yourself, right? Because sometimes when I'm praying, right, or when I'm speaking to God just randomly, I learn stuff about myself and be like, ooh, when did I ever think that? Or that's a good thought. Like, when did wow, I like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you're talking to God, you just talk. You're just talking, right? And I think I don't be doing enough as far as praying him. But like, when I'm in my mind and I'm talking, you know, I think I'm talking to myself, but I know I'm talking to God. I know I am, because I'm not talking to myself. I'm thinking these thoughts, because constantly I'm thinking God hears these thoughts. So I'm like, okay. I'm like, God, you saw that? Like, what the crap? Like, what's going on here?
Especially when you address him, when you say God or Jesus. Obviously, when you're thinking these things, you're not talking to yourself. You're not thinking these thoughts to yourself, right? Obviously, when you address him in your head or in, you know, verbally, you're talking to the Lord.
Exactly. And it's you're learning yourself. That's all I was saying, is you're learning yourself through God, because sometimes even the Holy Ghost or God will reveal yourself to you through your own mouth. Like, you know how when, like, sometimes a prophet is speaking, right? And I'm not entirely sure, because I can't say this to like 100%, but the way I view prophecy is the Lord is speaking through that person, right? And they don't know what they're about to say unless the Lord reveals it to them, like, before, right? And then they have time to think about what they're about to say. But I think sometimes God doesn't allow that to happen, right? Because when you think about what you're about to say, right, then you gotta think about whether you want to say it or not, right? So it's like, I think sometimes the Lord allows you to just talk, like a prophet to just talk, right? And I know that we can all prophesy, but the Lord can use anybody to prophesy, right? But that doesn't mean you're a prophet. Okay?
Yeah.
Cool. So I'm saying that I had to exactly. So what I'm saying is So what I'm saying is, how I view prophecy is the Lord speaks through that person, and sometimes he'll allow them to think about what they're about to say, and sometimes he's like, nah, you just gonna say it. Like, just say what it needs to be said. Just say what it needs to be said.
And let me give you something. Sometimes the Lord, when he does use prophets, he will tell them what to say.
It's
you did, right?
Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry, I didn't mean.
Go ahead. No, that's what I was saying. I was saying that he is sometimes. I said that's the way I view it. It's like the way I see it is sometimes he tells them
Yeah.
what to say,
And he'll just talk through
or
them.
sometimes he just says, just say it, don't think about it.
Yeah.
Like that's just what's gonna come through your mouth.
That's the obedience part that comes when you're a prophet. That's the obedience part. You can choose to be obedient because the Lord speaks to prophets all the time, right? You could choose to be obedient or you could choose not to be obedient.
Exactly.
But while you were talking, it made me think of this scripture, Psalms 139, right? It says, where can I go from your spirit, or where can I flee from your presence? If I ascend into heaven, you are there. If I make my bed in hell, behold, you are there. If I take the wings of the morning, which is when I rise, and dwell in the uttermost parts of the sea, I'm not too sure what that means. Even there, your hand shall lead me, and your right hand shall hold me. If I say, surely the darkness shall fall on me, even in the night shall be light about me. Right? Just to cut it off at that. Right? When it says, where can I go from your spirit? The Lord, he already knows everything about you. He already knows, what's going to happen. He knows beginning to the end. He's Alpha and Omega. He knows everything, right? He sees, he just knows, right? But it's just that part when Ka-Rin was saying he wants us to talk to him, even though it's a relationship, but even though he knows everything that's in our thoughts, it's the honesty part. You have to come to the end of yourself and still be honest with the Lord. You know how when Ka-Rin was saying how she said, oh, when I talk to the Lord, I learn more things about myself. How honest are you being with the Lord? When you learn, and when you're not being honest with the Lord, of course, you're not even going to learn anything about yourself. You're just going to be lying. You're
just perpetuating what you like. It's like if I tell myself, right, that I'm skinny, right? Now, like, wait, listen. If I tell myself I'm skinny, right, and then I tell the Lord, I'm like, Lord, I'm so skinny, right? This is just a lie I'm perpetuating to myself. I'm not learning anything new about myself. I'm just telling the Lord what was here. Not even. Let me backtrack. If I say, okay, Lord, I have allergies, right? I have allergies. And I keep my eye just itches. Oh my gosh! And I keep just rubbing my eye. What is God going to do with that information, right? If I'm just telling him, not that he can't do anything, right? If I'm just telling him the facts, right? Or if I'm just telling him something that's just already laid out, right? Like the grass is green. That information is not new, right? It's not that God doesn't know these things, right? It's for us to learn something. When we talk to God, we have to learn something, right? It's like you're giving him surface level. He wants to know, what are your thoughts? You're giving him surface. Like I have allergies. No, the underlying is, oh, you need to work on, I don't know, X, Y, and Z, your immune system or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, Lord, help me with my immune system. Not,
that was good.
I have allergies. I don't know how to explain it.
As far as, I was going to take it to another level. As far as, you can always, go to God, right? And say, Lord, I'm mad about this and I don't know why this is happening. And, but you're the cause of that situation, right? Listen to this. Say you lied about a whole situation. You walked yourself into the situation. You walked yourself into, what happened in the situation. This outcome in the situation was horrible, right? But you go to God and you're like, Lord, I don't understand why this is happening. I don't know. But lo and behold, the Lord will tell you, well, if you really look at it, you lied in this situation, right? It's not to say he won't get you out of it. There, obviously that wouldn't have happened. Be honest. Can you be honest? And some people aren't honest. They're like, I don't know why this is happening to me. But the Lord's like, you're lying. You're a liar. You did that. You got to come with him the whole truth. All right, Lord, I lied in the situation. Please forgive me about lying. Now, how do I move on from this? How don't rehearse it. Like, of course, you can have a repentance heart, but how do I get out of this situation? When you really seek the Lord. You say, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven and all its righteousness, right? And all these things will be added to you. When you really seek the Lord for his guidance and his will for your life, then all these things will be added to you. You don't need to try and make it happen for yourself. And it's not to say that the Lord wants us to be laymen in our waiting season and in our wait, right? He wants us to actually be active. But what are you doing in that wait? Why are you don't just sit there and lay and just, I'm gonna wait for the Lord to make it happen. He can make it happen, but he has to see you doing some movement. He has to see you doing something. And that's all for today. Thank you guys for joining us in this conversation about relationships. We hope you have enjoyed it. We hope that it was edifying to you guys and that you guys took something good away from it. Be on the lookout for our part 2 because we are not finished.
And we have a surprise guest, our very first guest.
Special guest.
Yes. Our first of many guests because we want you guys on, trust me.
Right. So be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Do what the YouTubers do. Bye.
Please come. Won't you please come?